I can see how that make you angry. What if Jinx... I must break out of here at once. Her tormentors must be taught a lesson. No, wait! First we have to get you a not guilty verdict. Don't try to stop me. This is about a father's duty to his dying daughter. Relax. We'll look out for your daughter until we can get you free. Is that so? You don't need me to go straighten things out myself? Oh boy, I need a break on the SWAT team up out of school. Oh right, I ought to ask about the reason behind the merger. Municipal merger. Do you really want Ninetales Vale that badly? Yes, well, it's quite an attractive prize in terms of tourism. Wait, am I feeling what I think I'm feeling? Sure, I played a bit of hardball, but only when I deemed it necessary. I knew it. My bracelet's reacting. Mayor Tenman may not be telling the whole truth. People invariably tense up when they lie. That's why my bracelet here comes in. I can sense when the person I'm talking to is feeling tense. Because it begins to feel tight on my arm. Wait, so you believe me? Just like that? Sure, each of us has our own special gift. Oh yeah, Athena's gift too, a special sense of hearing. Still, what do you think the mayor is lying about? I don't know, but it's our job to find out. Been a while since my bracelet last reacted like this. Let's see if I still remember how you do this. Yes, I remember this feeling of intense concentration. You really need to see the smallest twitch, the slightest fin, and no one else can see. Now Mayor Tenma was lying somewhere in that statement he just made. And when he lied, a certain habit made itself clear. Just on his right eye. Alright, I got him now. His nervous tail should appear when he's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Gotta pull over every word he says and wait for it to appear. When it does, I'll perceive it.
Gotcha!
Mr. Mayor, please, you can trust us with the truth. The truth? Don't understand. When you mentioned tourism, the bottom of your right eye side hit. What nonsense is this? So what if it did? What more is there to tell? Why were you really seeking a merger with Ninetales Vale? I already told you, tourism. The monster craze really revitalized the village, making it quite the prize. You really don't trust us, do you? What are you talking about? The village has been in hot property ever since the monster craze started, has it not? I think you've yet to realize that what you're saying contradicts the facts. You say that the monster craze really revitalized Ninetales Vale, so your prize for tourism, but that would contradict this. Contradicts what exactly?
Take that!
Sorry, take it all back. Oh, forgive me. There was a fly that was driving me crazy. That's how he deals with flies. I'd hate to see him when he's really angry. monster craze in Ninetales Vale is a very recent phenomenon. It was sparked when the amazing Ninetales rose up against a municipal merger. The village was practically a ghost town before then. So you see, you could have possibly seen it as an intro, huh? Well, ah, ah, ah. Are you ready to tell me the truth now? Honestly, I never wanted to pursue the merger in the first place. But I had no choice if I wanted to protect my darling little Jinxie. Protect her from what? I received a threat. To say if I go through with the merger or my Jinxie dies. What? How awful. Who would do such a thing? I don't know. But whoever blackmailed me must be connected to the murder. Wait, so you think the blackmailer and the killer could be one and the same? Alderman QB was immensely popular, so you have to ask who would want him dead. The blackmailer who wanted the merger at all costs at all. Could it be? What if there was another reason for the murder? Like what? Maybe the blackmailer discovered Alderman QB's secret identity, and his secret identity was a threat to the blackmailer's merger scheme. What do secret identities have to do with anything? I have evidence revealing the Alderman's secret identity. Maybe it's time to use it. Mayor Tenma, please take a look at this if you would. Nuts. That's an amazing Ninetales mask. What is the meaning of this? This mask was almost definitely at the crime scene. And there was some white hair inside. White hair? You say? There was but one person with white hair in the man of that name. What are you saying? You know which man I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about XQB, the amazing Ninetales himself. No way. The Alderman was impossible. Wait, come to think of it, Alderman QB was probably for this. So blackmailer trying to kill and... didn't I just say that? But yeah, the amazing Ninetales was a threat to the blackmailer's scheme. He opposed the merger and as a result single-handedly sparked the monster craze. Even so, what was last doing at the crime scene? There had been an event at the manor, and maybe Alderman QB had taken part in it, if you get my drift. This is absurd! Mr. Mayor, do you have proof of the threat that was made against you? Yes, the blackmail letter. Unfortunately, it disappeared after the murder. I've been carrying it around in my briefcase, but now it's suddenly vanished. The blackmailer must have taken it with them after they killed the Alderman. Well, at least we clearly established the killer's motive. Mayor Tenma, visiting hours are over. It would appear this meeting is adjourned. What about that newspaper? Could the killer purposely breed Tenmataro to do that? Oh, come on! There wasn't any Tenmataro to release in the first place. Yes, but the only suspects the police have right now are the mayor and the yokai. We'll probably be arguing whether there was a yokai involved in court tomorrow. Can I already see that look of disbelief on the judge's face? Apollo, are you alright? I'm fine, I'll think of something. Fair, because I can't very well say if Flying Demon was a killer. At this point, the only thing I know for sure is tomorrow's going to be a one doozy of a trial. Yes, continue on. April 18, 9:15 AM. District Court, Defendant and Lobby number 3. You okay, Vina? You've been really antsy ever since we got here. I'm just excited. This is my first real court case. Yeah, real ball of excitement she is. Know just what she needs. Athena! I'm just trying to show you the best way to relieve your pre-trial jitters. Are you scaring the daylights out of me? No, I find that shouting I'm fine in a loud voice really relieves stress. It's part of my cause of steel voice workout, and I must before every trial. You want me to shout here? I find my help. Always works for me. You're a friend of mine from junior high, and I say it all the time. I see. A proven remedy to come. The point is to relieve stress, not get totally exhausted. What's with all the racket, you two? Ah, Mr. Right. Just a little voice workout. Hey, what's with the suit? Oh, this? I was thinking about getting my attorney's badge back, that's all. That's all? That's huge news. But why now? I have a feeling I'll be needed in the courtroom again sometime soon. But I can talk about voice crack. God, that pain in the ass. We can talk about that another time. No fair. Inquiring minds want to know. Wow. So he uses him in his usual laid-back clothes. It's disappointing that they've not made a skin of that. That suit makes him look like $1 million. By the way, have you heard about the prosecutor assigned to this case? Yeah, he's serving time, but before that, he was a prosecutor. He also uses psychology. That's right. I've heard rumors about how he was back before his conviction. Using the power of suggestion, he could make even the most stalwart defendants confess. Psychology in the courtroom. Been hearing a lot about that lately. So he must be a pretty scary guy, considering he's a prisoner mate and all. So they say. They also say he'll cut you down if you talk too much. Ah! I knew it was going to be bad news. It's probably just hyperbole. At least I hope for your sake. Wait, so is it true or not? Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, of yours. Yikes! Better turn down my cause of steel too. So are you ready? Might be a good idea to check the court record again before stepping into the ring. Right, Mr. Wright, but I'm fine. I'll be watching from the gallery. Good luck. Thanks. Okay, let's do this. The odds of pulling this off are ridiculously low, but that's nothing new. Believe in our client, seek the truth. That's all we can do. Hang in there, Mayor Tenma. Here comes justice.
Court is now in session for the trial of Damien Tenma.
Apollo Justice, the defense team leader, is ready, Honor. I'd know that big booming voice anyway.
Chip as ever, eh, Mr. Justice? But who is the young lady next to you? Well now, full of beans too, eh? Excellent, makes an old man feel young again. Now for the prosecution. It appears the prosecution is not ready yet.
Never fear, I shall explain. It's just a minor procedural complication, Your Honor.
The prosecutor for this case is being escorted from prison as we speak. Prison? Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot that he is currently serving time.
Yup, Prosecutor Blackwell's an inmate. But even a convicted murderer still got a job to do and duties to perform.
Who's that with his back to us over there? That's him, I'm sure of it. Prosecutor Blackwell.
Ahem! Is the prosecution ready?
Enough jabbering. Get on with it already.
Oh, of course, forgive me.
Why are the people related to this case so scary?
Very well, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you please. Ah! What's the matter?
Must we continue to fritter away time like this? It's all right now in the indictment and opening statement, but pointless.
Pointless? Oh, well...
Looks like the cat, or in this case, the prosecutor, has the judge's tongue.
But we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand.
Well then, your boldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do yours?
Who, me?
There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless views, and then decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool.
Huh?
Wait, was that the prosecution's opening statement? Oh, dotards such as you are a plague on the young. I pity your poor grandchildren, or is it great-grandchildren?
All these years I thought the opening statement was a prosecutor's job. But I suppose I could give it a try. It might be a nice intake.
What? He actually fell for that? That must have been the power of suggestion Mr. Wright was talking about.
Ahem! The opening statement, huh? Let's see here. The victim was one Rex Cuby, alderman of Ninetails Vale, and the defendant, Damien Tenma, mayor of Tenma Town, is accused of his murder.
And why, pray tell, was the mayor arrested?
His prince won the murder weapon, plus he had a motive, the elimination of the biggest roadblock to the municipal merger.
So in a nutshell?
I'd have to say the charges against the defendant are incontrovertible.
Very bold, for your years of experience shine bright like your head.
Oh ho ho! Flattery will get you everywhere.
He's playing Simon Says with the judge.
Moving right along now, let's hear from our first witness for today, Detective Fulbright. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
I am the detective assigned to
Bobby Fulbright.
Oh, and I'll also be keeping tabs on Aaron Blackwell.
I also heard you'd provide protection if it ever came to that.
It would seem that I have been sorely underestimated. Wait, who's protecting who from what? Still, I truly believe anyone can turn their life around, even Aaron Blackwell here. Fulbright, save your platitudes for funerals. Get on with your statement.
Ha ha ha! That's the spirit. Justice must be swift and true. I see it in your eyes. There is hope for your rehabilitation and return to society.
I will never give up on you. Prosecutor Blackwell doesn't seem to intimidate Detective Fulbright. But you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. Oh, so that's why Detective Fulbright was just... He's so oblivious.
Now, let's have your first statement, Detective Fulbright. You got it,
but first I'd like to say to the defense that justice will ultimately prevail.
Prevail. Sorry, I got my tongue a bit twisted now. Alderman Cuby was murdered with a spear that had been on the wall.
The fingerprints of the defendant, Damien Tenma, were found on the murder weapon. At the time, Alderman Cuby was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested. Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim, impaling him like a human shish kebab. But the sudden pain jolted the victim awake, and he grabbed a statue and struck back. Alderman Cuby had been slipped some kind of sleep-inducing drugs.
That's right. The accused was scared because the alderman was a former pro wrestler, so he slipped him a drug to make sure he'd be out cold and defenseless. Here's your autopsy report to prove it.
Cuby's autopsy report added to the court record. When it comes to the whole Kurasanji thing, I'm inclined to think that the fault lies not with the livers, but with management, because at the end of the day, you gotta think of it this way. They're breaking an NDA by doing this. What would they have to gain, apart from time in jail? Plus, I doubt Kurasanji will admit that they're the ones responsible for terminating sailing of our Doki bird themselves. It's for a reason why, when I'm discussing them, I refer to them as 3 parties instead of 2. Because management have set the livers up to fail with their statements. Somebody has stated on the message that it sounded almost scripted. Plus, if it was indeed the livers, why wasn't that mentioned at the time? Why was it only Niji-sanji who mentioned it? If not to throw them under the bus for their actions. Then all they'd have to do is draft the message for the livers to read, hook, line and sinker. They'd read it and everyone would be against them. All the pressure would be taken off management.
That sounds almost superhuman. Is it even possible?
Well, he was a former pro wrestler after all. That spear was probably nothing more than a mosquito bite to him. Not so fast. Don't try to push it all off by saying the alderman had been a pro wrestler. Do you really expect us to believe he could fight back after being skewered by a spear? Never heard of any incredible feats of which man is capable of a pinch, have you? Like the samurai of yore, wrestlers can battle through intense pain. It sharpens their senses. I used to talk about it with a former wrestler I met in the clinic. I know, it still sounds a little far-fetched.
Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you with the edge of my blade.
I didn't sign up for this.
And so your life is spared. For now.
Please let those shackles be made of titanium. I don't want to die.
Aha! My investigations are as thorough as they are foolproof. Or my name isn't Fulbright.
I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest.
The accused prince won the weapon, and he's the only person without an alibi. Quite decisive evidence, wouldn't you agree, your boldness? The defendant is sounding guiltier by the minute.
Here's the judge leaning toward a guilty verdict, and the trial's just barely begun.
What's more, a curious rumor about the accused is making rounds. They say he seeks murder for the purpose of freeing Tenmataro from its prison. Truth be told, I can think of no real reason to show interest in our battlefield. Perhaps he's a complete nutter and really does seek to use an imaginary demon. Either way, he's raving mad and more than capable of hurting.
That mayor is a strange one, alright. I already went to a blood trap. Instead, the lady trying to make a withdrawal.
Order! There will be no gossiping in my court.
Your boldness. Please take the under to those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear them to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenmataro. And then again. Perhaps he's already under the demon's spell.
Behold, the lunatic appears poised to lunge at you at any moment.
Hold it!
The rumors and quirks of Mayor Tenma have no relevance to this case. Besides, those charms on his head, that's just a fashion statement, I think.
Come to think of it, such things don't seem relevant to the case, do they?
The prosecution will refrain from dragging our client's reputation through the mud.
Oh, what a dreadfully fearsome lass we have here.
Thanks for that lifeline, Athena. Careful, Apollo. He has a judge dancing in the palm of his hand. Power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal. This guy really is bad news.
In any case, it seems the victim did manage to defend himself despite being impaled. A brilliant former defense attorney who was supposed to be in retirement. What sort of weapon did he use against his attacker? None other than the statue right here. It appears to be a statue of two strange creatures locked in battle. Two yokai to be exact. On one side is a nine-tailed fox, and on the other, Tenmataro. Quite interesting if you think about it. It's as though this very case was rendered known. Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Present. Nah. Save.
Hold it!
So, those weapons on the wall of the fox chamber. I presume those are real? Don't you think keeping real weapons around like that is rather dangerous?
No matter what he collected, the alderman insisted it be the real deal.
For instance, he had a real demon's club in his possession.
Apparently, one of his ancestors claimed it after defeating a demon in battle.
What? That's gotta be an old wives' tale.
Ha ha ha! The alderman had pure, unadulterated justice flowing in his veins. Whatever he did it right. We lost a real champion of justice in his death. Nothing but claptrap and balderdash, if you ask me. Now stop your...
Hold it!
It doesn't make sense if you think about it. Prince could be easily wiped off.
You do have a point there.
I'd venture to say he did not wipe off the prince because he could not. What do you mean? Looks like he wants you to figure it out. Well, don't just stand there. Show him his boss. I'm totally lost, so why don't you just tell me the answer already? I don't think you saw that plea for help.
You feeling alright, kid? Running a fever, perhaps?
I wish Charles came with a reset button.
Well, the specifics may yet come to light. Please proceed, Detective Fulbright. At the time, Alderman QB was asleep from a drug he unwittingly ingested.
Hold it!
Come to think of it, a coffee cup was found on the floor. Was the sedative in his coffee?
Bingo! We found traces of a sleeping agent all over the inside of the cup.
And that is why he was out cold. That is until he left to his death upon being impaled by the mare. What an awful way to wake up. A rather stimulating eye-opener if you ask me. I too would have risen to the attacker, or to die in battle as a samurai. Paradise awaits fallen heroes, but that hole in his stomach would make it easily a challenge.
Prosecutor Blackwell, please! These morbid jokes of yours have no place in this court.
Says the gesture in the detective's guise.
Moving right along.
Mayor Tenma attacked his helpless victim.
Hold it!
So the alderman was drugged because he was really strong?
Did you see those rock-hard muscles of his? Surprised this baby managed to pierce that armor like musculature. I admit I'm completely jealous of that righteous body of his. Ha ha ha!
Well, he did look pretty buff, even in that suit he had on.
Quite a difference when compared to a yellow belly like you.
Yellow belly? Who even says that anymore? Yeah, and the colour's all wrong too. Oh, I know. I'm about I moved to strike both your comments from the record.
Mr. Justice's character is not the issue here. Now let's get back to what happened after the far more muscular alderman was impaled.
Yes, well, your average person would likely have died on the spot.
Objection!
Oh no. Damn, fire at it.
Objection!
Did the alderman really strike the mayor?
Of justice?
Your so-called justice needs to find itself a pair of legs. The statue he supposedly used to defend himself creates a major hole in your theory.
It would appear that the defense is a counter-argument. Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is all about the defense.
There are no fingerprints on this supposedly crucial piece of evidence. And if you look at the crime scene photo, you'll notice that the alderman isn't wearing gloves.
Yes, I believe he's quite gloveless indeed.
If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, didn't you?
This can't be happening!
Did I arrest the wrong man? Well, it's just 1 point now for favour. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't you? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, I mean someone else must have clubbed the mayor. Exactly, and this could be the big break we've been looking for.
There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion?
Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I didn't think I'll bother. Least you could do is look at me while you're being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhorned blade. Justice Dono. Justice Dono? You've been watching too many samurai flicks. It'll take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Mr. Prosecutor Blackwell. There was a perfectly good explanation of a lack of prints on this statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime, where it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. So, what are you getting at? Hold your mind, boy. Why was there blood on that cloth? So that little unusual seer in the Holy Fort you found is but an illusion. Now let's see, how was that cloth used? Was it used... You sure he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor? bully for you, boy. Oh, it was nothing. I did? Ah, I did. Right, that's a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints as plain as day. This also proves there are no holes in our theory of the alderman striking back. Oops! Oh! Now do you see how dull your mind is? Make sure to sharpen it next time. I'm particularly frightening him was totally out. He always tenderly held his blades before he went to work, like the samurai rule.
Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me.
Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Wait, so the inmate was this murdering samurai prison chef?
It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all.
I was going to touch that hole. No one. Apollo, I just thought of something. I didn't find anyone's fingerprints on the statue. Who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mail with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. And who played hell struck the mayor with the statue? Please, only it was for your wisdom, lady. Prove the existence of this real killer. What evidence have you? Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this.
Is the defense actually suggesting some sort of monster killed that alderman?
That's exactly what I'm
Objection!
No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. Sorry, guess I got carried away.
Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense.
Sorry, Your Honor, it's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch.
So is this court to believe the feathers and chucks are from a yokai, as you put it?
No, Your Honor. I believe they are a fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman.
Interesting. And why do you suppose the killer would do that?
Why indeed?
Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is.
Mate, are you on drugs? Ouch! Here's some other point to Mr. Right.
Why, fool right. Explain to his baldness what those brats are missing.
You know, the human why behind those feathers and tracks. What? You mean you can explain all that?
Ha ha ha! Our investigative prowess is without equal.
I'm starting to think I chose the wrong profession.
Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster.
Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears.
Absolutely. He knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds.
Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenmatara. That is.
Tenma who?
But yeah, looking at no comments on YouTube, bear in mind that I do have a hint of neutrality to it.
Hold it!
hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect?
Mr. Justice, please explain yourself.
One day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. As part of this event, there was someone dressed in likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is much more likely a suspect than any legendary demon. Dullard, you're playing right into the killer's mind games. What? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the owner, and thus a mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of crime.
Objection!
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so
Objection!
stupid? The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright.
Right, it was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say! Was this inmate a con artist? No. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Yes, well... Now then, the defense may proceed with a cross-examination. But this is not up. If what you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? You claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. So then why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. It is, isn't it? So your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder.
Objection!
Perhaps the killing was on the spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. Startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo, I think Prosecutor Blackwell has figured out the Alderman... This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene, showing the mask worn by the amazing Ninetales. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Oh my, but why would it have been there? And the victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Need I say no? Well, could it really be? Your boldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim, Vix QB, was the amazing Ninetales. The mayor's discovery of this fact was his motive for murder. No! Order! Order! What a shocking development! A motive clearer than crystal clear! What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they tied the Alderman's secret identity to his motive for murder. At least we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Does it not pique your interest, your boldness?
I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona, just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement.
Very astute of you, your boldness.
Right, now take a look at this. If you value your dearest life, you'll merge Nine Tails Vale with Tenma Town. This blackmail letter was found in Alderman QB's pocket.
What?
At present, the Alderman's wife is in the hospital. And that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life.
Wait, didn't the blackmail letter sent to Mayor Tenma go missing? Right after the Alderman's murder? You think maybe the killer took the letter from the mayor after the murder and planted it into the Alderman's pocket? It's possible, but we don't have any proof that that's what really happened. Like that being up the creek without paddle.
Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he'd just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the Amazing Ninetales. So it was the Amazing Ninetales' counter-attack that brought the entire crime to light.
Wait a sec. Bovart's claiming that the mayor killed the Alderman after planting the yokai evidence. And then the mayor was knocked out cold immediately after? Detective Fulbright, please add your previous statement to your testimony. Okay.
Objection!
Detective Fulbright, your sense of justice is anything but fair.
What's this? You dare question my justice again?
Yes, and I'm going to prove it to you. Take a look at this photo.
This is a crime scene photo, and just what does this prove?
It proves when the feathers and tracks were planted.
But I already told you, they were planted before the murder.
But that would be impossible. If you look right here, it's clear where the...
The only thing wrong is my fucking defunct brain.
Take that! Take that!
Aren't you just pointing to the yokai feathers and tracks, Mr. Justice?
Yes, see how the feathers are on top of the blood, and the tracks were made in blood? In other words, yokai evidence could have only resulted after murder.
And then the mayor must have planted the evidence after killing the alderman.
But you said yourself, the mayor had been knocked unconscious thereafter. There had been no time for him to plant the evidence at all. Therefore, there must have been someone else beside the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene.
There must be some mistake. Order! Order! Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you?
Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. In fact, I have an eyewitness's testimony for you.
You do? But how? Was my vaunted sense of justice really just half-baked?
He's taking this really hard.
Mr. Justice, what is this testimony regarding a third party that you claim to have?
I have it right here, Your Honor. Just one testimony of Mr. Tenma's daughter. The witness, Jinxie Tenma, saw a yokai in the hallway after stumbling upon the scene. It was a demon Tenmataro. He is the source of those feathers and tracks. Will somebody please say something?
The defense will explain to the court exactly what he means.
You dare to mock this court and justice itself? You're unfit to bear your name, boy. Your boldness impairs our defense attorney here is delirious misfortune. Apollo, think of something quick before you're held in contempt of court. What do you think I'm trying to do? Before you decide whether I should step down, please hear me out.
Very well, Mr. Justice, I'm all ears, but you'd better explain yourself well. What was this yokai you were talking about?
So in the statement here, Jinxie Tenma asserts that she saw Tenmataro. After she discovered the crime scene and called the police, she came around the corner in this hall. It was around here. And she saw Tenmataro fleeing towards the foyer. The defense asserts that whoever was impersonating this monster is the one who left those feathers and tracks behind, intentionally or otherwise. Intentionally? Good fucking English there. How incredibly unjust! Why haven't I heard about this before?
The defense just proved out someone else.
So the mayor isn't the killer? Was it all a setup? The prosecution isn't. Apollo, the momentum has shifted in our favor. Good. Now let's keep it.
Objection!
Little do you realize that there you are in the middle of a break. Your sword is broken. My sword? I didn't know I had one to break. Are you implying there's a problem with my claim? Consider this. If that yokai impersonator had indeed fled toward the foyer, that fool and that fop would have seen him. Fool and fop? Oh, you mean Filch and LaBelle? Now I mention it. Both Phineas Filch and Florence LaBelle were in the foyer at that time, but they haven't stated that they saw a yokai, have they? Did you ever consider that yokai was but a figment of a sacred little girl's imagination? Why didn't those two see the Tenmataro impersonator pass by? Why don't we ask for ourselves? I was just about to say that myself. No, really it was. The defense would like to call Mr. Phineas Filch, a caretaker of QB Manor, to the stand. Just know he must have seen something.
I suppose we can't ignore the fact that little girl believes she saw a monster. Plus you have no objections to Mr. Justice's Blackwell? Here's a Blackwest. I understand that Mr. Filch is enjoying a nap out in the lobby.
I knew at times she was very refined, but when we captured him, I didn't think he had confidence.
Do with him as you will.
Did he just say captured? No, wait, I don't want to know.
Very well then, bailiff, please go wake Mr. Filch and escort him to the witness stand. Will the witness state his name and occupation, please?
Name's Filch, Phineas Filch, caretaker of QB Manor. Oh, and this is for you, your lordship. Just a little something I thought you might like.
Oh my, what a fabulous pair of shoes! And your honor will do just fine, Mr. Filch.
Ah, it's those shoes again. Don't they belong to Detective Fulbright? Don't tell me Phil stole them again. They weren't yours on the ship, sir.
What? But they seem awfully expensive.
Yep, too expensive for me, but I reckon they'd be perfect for someone like you on a ship.
It's a kind gesture, but legal ethics dictate I cannot accept such gifts.
Ah, ethics methics. Just take them if you want them. Polish it up real nice for you, too.
I'm sorry about the shoes, Mr. Filch, but I will accept your testimony. The court would like to hear whether you saw Tenmataru in the foyer after the murder.
At the time of the murder, I was on guard duty in the foyer, just like Mr. QB asked, making sure no one, fair, foul, fishy, or otherwise, could get to our guest. I'm still in my office, keeping a good watch when the murder happened. God damn it. I didn't see nothing out of the ordinary, no siree.
That Yuka you keep jabbering on about was but a phantom of a little girl's dreams.
So you're telling me this court you never... So you're telling this court you never saw anyone dressed up like... No, but the truth. And Tenmataru? You don't really believe no yokai mumbo jumbo, do ya? I certainly don't. A bracelet. It's